Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. I got a pile of books in over the weekend. Some of the orders I was waiting on came in, and we've got a new release snuck in here as well. So quite a number to look at today. However, keep in mind with the color by numbers here at the back, I may show you 1, 2 pages, may show you all. It just really depends on what you can see in the pages. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and get started with the new release. Okay, there we go. It's just non-stop mess everywhere. Alright, so Flowerscape in Paradise by Maggie and Enterrios. I do have the original Flowerscapes book. Have I colored in it? Nope. But I like this one as well because I do like jungle, like exotic type plants and flowers and stuff. So I figure honestly I may end up liking this one a little better. Let me grab a standard size coloring book. There we go. This is a little shorter. It's similar in size to the original Flowerscapes book. Not quite as wide, not quite as tall as an average book. Where is my Flowerscapes book? There it is. So let me do a looky-loo. Same size. So if you have Flowerscape, then it's the same size. Oh, and a quick note for those of you that were waiting for my swatch of my Staedtler felt tip markers yesterday. The numbers I ordered are gigantic. I never look at size when I order stuff off Amazon. It is a problem, and the numbers that came in are gigantic. They're like 3 times the size of the pens. So I'm gonna have to order some new ones. I may send those back. I've been contemplating sending back some books, so I actually have to be in a town that has UPS next week, and so I might use that time to ship some stuff back. I know, unusual for me, but I can't think of anywhere I would use those numbers otherwise. If you want to pause, well, the focus is terrible. Hopefully you can read that pretty well. It's tiny print. Tiny print. It does talk about flower identifications. Apparently on the left-hand side of each spread, sample illustrations of the main botanicals used in each composition. You can hover over the QR code on any flower identification page in this book, and it will link you to the corresponding color key for each design. So that is really cool. You can also access the color keys by visiting colorflowerscape.com/paradise or by scanning the QR code below. Now that's really cool. That must have taken like a lot of effort. She didn't, I don't think, no, she didn't do that in the first one because I don't recall seeing QR codes. But anyway, that is really cool. So you can like scan there for the color reference. I like that. I like that very much. Takes a lot of the guesswork out. Why, that's... which for someone like me, I like. Oh, and here she includes a nice little monkey along with the flowers. I like unique flowers and plants. I have also the Wicked Plants book, which I really need to get back into because I enjoy it. Like plants and flowers that can make you sick and can unalive you. Like, I find that stuff really interesting too. So this looks like a little bit different format than her other book. But on this one she's got like a full page spread of all the flowers on one side, and then on the other side like single versions of each flower, so I guess you could like practice with them if you want. and also showing like which flowers are in the picture so you can easily identify them. And again, I dig that. Love the turtle in this one. I mean, technically, if you don't care about the page that shows the flowers, you could turn this into a one-sided book and use markers. If you really didn't mind, you know, coloring it bleeding through to the page behind it. It was a little harder to do in her other book because she had a combination of, like, you know, double page spreads and things like that. Love this with the seahorse. But that is an idea. I don't think I will. I think I'll just stick to pencil for this myself. Plus, I'm excited about these color keys and stuff because I feel like, especially the paradise type flowers, might give me some interesting color ideas for, like, you know, flowers in some of my other books as well. Like people, sometimes I get tired of coloring flowers and leaves because, you know, it just always seems to be the same colors and I get bored easily. I do love hydrangeas though. I have a hydrangea. I don't even know if it survived the cold though, I'll be honest. Like the two hardy bushes I had up front, like the sub-zero temps for like a couple days in December killed them. They're dead. If all this cold, the daylilies and everything snuck up while it was still kind of warm, and now hopefully they don't die off because we're having freeze warnings and stuff. But uh, I'm hoping I don't have to like uproot everything in my front flower beds. Right now it's going to be most of it. I think pretty much the daylilies and the monkey grass is there. Hopefully the phlox survive, but it hasn't popped up yet, and that's good. You stay in the ground until it is actually warm. Don't be fooled. Oh, the flamingos. My mom was telling me yesterday, and I love this about my mom. She's in a higher end neighborhood. Her and dad moved to the next town over a few years back, which I would love to live in the same neighborhood as them. I just, even 30 minutes away, it feels like I can't ever see them enough because I'm so busy. Um, but my mother was like yesterday on the phone, she said, the neighbor across the street has pink flamingos in her yard. And and I expect my mother to be just flat out scandalized by that, but she surprised me. She's like, I really like them. she's like, I wonder where she found them. And I said, you know, pink flamingos are actually kind of hard to find these days. And the last time I looked a few years back, they were really expensive. Um, and I told her, I said, oh, I'd love to have some. I would have wanted some for a while, but I'm just constantly worried somebody's going to snatch them out of my yard. Probably less likely in her neighborhood. Mine's like just backwoods redneck hell here. Um, Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. I was born and bred and lived here most of my life, so bred and born. There you go. That's the other way around. Um, Lived here almost all my life, and so I feel like I have the chops to wholeheartedly make that statement. And trust me, I dream every day of at least getting, not that my county, even going south, seems to be doing any better, but at this point it's more important that I'm close to my parents and my brother. But interest rates and housing market and unstable job market right now is just making that a pipe dream, and it's a real shame. I hate it. That was the main reason I took this job, was I was hoping, you know, 3 years, 5 years from now we could move to the same neighborhood as my parents, because I mean they're getting older and my mom has health issues. That's such a cute picture. and I want to be just down the street from them where I can just pop in anytime, and you know, if they need something or whatever, I'm there. 30 minutes doesn't seem that far away, but when you're working every day till 6 or 7 o'clock, like, it's really hard, and you're exhausted on the weekends with chronic illness. It's really hard. 30 minutes feels like hours, just being able to actually get there. So, but with the way the markets, job market, housing market, way everything looks right now, it just, right now it's way out of reach, and that's just a shame. Yeah, don't get me started on that. Have not been seeing the best of news this week to further compound. Like, let's just keep hitting Michelle while she's down. And can't go into detail. It'd be too much info. Some of y'all would probably figure out where I work. But yeah, needless to say, the next month may very well lead to some pretty major changes in my life. I just kind of have to. I can't make any decisions right now, and it makes me mad because I'm not in control of my life right now, really. I mean, I am really, if I really just wanted to be stubborn and say that's it, I've had enough, I can be in control, but, like, here, if you want to pause, you can read about the artist. And special thanks. I think it's a cool book. Now, I know some people who like to do, you know, they may not like the QR code here, but me personally, I love it. The fact that she went to the trouble to make the color palettes for all these and stuff is fantastic, and I appreciate her dedication of this one. So very cool. I'm very glad I got this. That QR code really makes this one, like, I would love to see her go back and do that for the original Flowerscape, and I would, like, you know, gift my book to somebody, and I would pick that one up if she republished it with the QR codes. But I'm sure it's a lot harder, you know, it's not like an Amazon book where she can just upload it and stuff, since she's going through an actual publisher. Alright, one of the things I did was, I think it was only second time or third time I've ordered off of Lireka. Y'all know how much I love the, there's a bunch of people call it balls of fur, and people like me like to call it hairballs. It's a similar sized book to this that I just adore and have I colored in it? No. There it is. There it is. And, but I want to. And so, this was the one. This is, like, I'm telling you, if you're just starting out with Lireka and you're looking for some cute little woodland creatures, which again are my favorite, this is the book I would recommend to everybody. I think actually they sell this on Amazon now, so even cooler. But seriously, I adore this book. And I saw this one, same way, and Animals in the Forest, I would assume is the translation here. Again, me and forest animals, like, I just can't resist. So, as you saw, it's similar in size to the Hairballs one, standard coloring book size. It is small, which should be a better and bigger incentive for me to color, because I don't have to take up as much space. But this was one of the books I ordered. I decided to pick this up and a couple more Disney books. I have two, and I'll talk about those in a minute. I do this every time, y'all. Sorry. Because I have the camera angled at a weird angle, and then I pull it towards me. There we go. I saw this one on Tammy Colors 2. She is my enabler, and I am one of hers. So we help each other out in that regard. This is also a double-sided book. Look at him sleeping. So cute. Here, let me zoom it in a little. There we go. I love the snake, the raccoon. I just love these types of pictures. Looks like there's objects in that tree. I see a book. I see a camera. I feel like those little squirrels, that raccoon is the thief. Because, you know, he has the mask on, so he's the thief. He has stolen from the neighborhood, and he's stowing it all in the tree. That's the story on that one. And the fox is sitting here like, hey, did you pick up anything for me? Love that one with the bear. I've seen somebody do that one recently, and it was so pretty. I have no idea what type of medium does how different mediums do in this book. Love that picture with the squirrel. But yeah, this is it. Like, y'all, this is my vibe. Just animals living their best life out in the woods. Look at him all sprawled out. Sometimes I wish I could just go live in the woods. Just become a hermit, you know. Make clothes out of tree bark and leaves. Live on berries and nuts. Fight the squirrels for the nuts and the acorns. That's sweet. Build a tree house. Scream as the cops arrest me and take me away because I'm on somebody's private property. It's not mine. Don't think it hadn't crossed my mind. Love that above and below the water. Don't think that hasn't crossed my mind. Love the birds. Love the flowers in his tail. No outhouses though, because you know every sketchy outhouse I saw as a kid. So it wasn't these places had you know people I knew had outhouses when I was a kid. Though it's distinctly possible where I live. A lot of times when we would go visit like great grandparents or great aunts or great uncles, or we go to property it's been in the family for generations. I remember I would go with my every year with my first husband to the homestead they have, which is like right at the base of the Appalachian Mountains in Kentucky. And on the homestead, I think all it was left was a smokehouse and an outhouse. And so, like, most people would show up in RVs and camp out all weekend, but like the general rule was you either use the outhouse, use the woods, or if you had to use the restroom, you couldn't, like, you weren't gonna go in everybody's RV and I guess use up their limited space. That's so cute. And let me tell you, when there was one year I refused, they have food and drink, and I would refuse to eat and drink because let me tell you, it will be a cold day in hell before you get me in an outhouse. And it's not the fact that it's an outhouse, it's the fact that they're generally like, you know, ground zero for like bees and wasps and stuff. And I already know what would happen, and it would involve me flying out of the outhouse with the pants around my ankles, screaming because something flew by my ear. And so Michelle knows her limits, and so we just don't do outhouses. Like, I will just go out in the woods like a normal like I'll go out in the woods like an animal and do what I need to do, but you are not. This is cute. I am not going in an outhouse. Nothing that stings needs to be anywhere near my naked butt. Thank you. That has been my TED Talk for the day. Jeez. I'm so tired, y'all. It's just, I don't know. I don't think the 3-day weekend, I mean, it helped me not get worse, but I didn't feel any better come through. Oh, love this picture. I'm going so slow today. I'm sorry, guys. This is also a really big book, so to be fair. And I was not ready for yesterday. I was not ready for this morning. I am just, oh, these both are just, I love this book. I'm just taking it a day at a time. At the end of the day, like last night, end of the day, I was shocked I made it through the day. I was like, I didn't think I had that in me this morning, but especially with, I am so tired of news. Let me tell you, world news, local news, work news, like, if everybody could just stop making announcements about stuff for a couple months and just let things settle for a hot minute, it would be most appreciated. Yeah, this is definitely, I'm being real, trying to be when it comes to Lyrica, because especially just the way I can rank up books so easily, especially with the Disney series. I'm trying to be very deliberate about my orders, because I know that left to my own devices, I would order every single Disney color by number book, and I would order all the non-Disney color by number Hachette Hero type books, and I would order all these, and so I'm trying to show some restraint. So, oh, and you get, it looks like little one-page versions where you can like journal in the back, which is kind of cool. Ooh, they're some of the really cool in little tags. Hopefully the tags line up. Well, that one didn't, but that's okay. Alright. Very cool book. I have 2 Rita Berman books that weren't on my shelf. There's this one, and then the land version of this one, and they are just coming separately. I totally dig that this is like a page within a page. I like that. If you're curious what that other page looks like in its entirety, it's like that. So, typical Rita Berman size book. Again, smaller than your average size coloring book. And I promise I will try to speed it up. It looks like you can color some of the cover, which is cool. Now, I'm not huge on a lot of underwater coloring books, but this was one of those things where I wanted to complete this collection, so. So I'm not consistent in it. Some of the books, some authors, artists, I want to collect like all their books. And some of them, like, I'll collect all but a couple and just pick and choose what I like. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. But this is really, I like this double page spread. So. And that looks like fun. Looks like pretty small little ship there. I feel like that would be like one of the last things you'd see like before you die or something. Well, like very cool, but a little disconcerting as well. I like the turtles. I don't think I've had a Coke yet today. I really need to. I need to drink one and get some of the caffeine. I did finally get my updated dose of Savella in yesterday. I'm really hoping going back to my original dose will help some. And I mean, it will take a while for it to get in my system. I'm not anticipating like immediate results or anything, but probably about the time I figure some things out in regards to work here in about a month, I'll hopefully be able to mentally handle whatever comes. So I don't know, y'all. I've kind of just said broke me, really and truly, like just not just my heart, but just broke me in my mental capacity to worry about stuff and get just I don't know, in some ways I guess it's kind of a blessing in some weird dark way, because I've reached the I don't really, it's not that I don't care, but I just can't care anymore. I just can't. Like, it's just very simply, it comes along, whatever comes along, I'm just gonna have to figure it out. Like, I just cannot right now. I do my work. All I have mental capacity for is to focus on work, which is very high brain work right now, and just do the best I can do. I have no control over the situation for the next month or so. So I love this picture. I love that he's doing like the painting and I don't know. I really like that one. And the seals. But I'm like, that's the one I'm waiting on. I think it should be here towards the end of the week, so y'all might see that before the weekend. I don't know. I think I only have, well, if you count the new releases, I think I've got 4 more books coming before, including Enchanted Earth, is very beginning of April, so this was one of my Etsy orders. Now, I'm not sure where I saw this one. I saw it on somebody's site page. Let me see if I can find the. Oh yeah, I just ordered another one yesterday. Oh gosh. Linka Filanenko has a Hello Spring coloring book. She's publishing like an actual printed version, and I ordered that, and of course it's coming from the Czech Republic, so I mean I splurged. So just as a note, that's out as well, if you're a fan of hers. I could have probably just waited for the PDF, but it'd be nice to, it is odd, I thought she printed on Amazon too. I don't know. I'm curious to see what this paper will look like. So anyway, alright. I got this from Pomodoro 24 store. I've ordered a couple things from them in the past. There's a couple stores on Etsy I really like that most of the time, if I'm getting these books from, I will get them from them first. So I do recommend them. If you ever see anything in their shop, I've always had good experiences with them. Never, you know, shipping has always come very secure. Now, the name of this that showed up on Etsy was Cat Magical General Store Coloring Book. And it's a Japanese coloring book. Now, is that what it actually says? I don't know. I would need to use the Translate app. But we have a cat, and that was key in this decision. That was key in this decision of owning this book, and it would really help if I put it in the actual camera view. Okay. So I am going to get, I believe, I don't know if it's the same artist, but like I noticed that like the Yuri Mouse Journey's on this one too, so maybe it's all like part of a series, maybe. I do want to translate all this so I can kind of see, but well, so at the beginning you get actual coloring like samples and stuff, and it's just so pretty. Gosh, I'm gonna have to back this out. It was a very long book. I didn't really show that, did I? So it's a very long book. It's longer than a typical book, but not quite as tall. So keep that in mind. Probably similar to Yuri's journey, the Mouse Journey book. Alright, we're missing just a little bit of the side, but I think it'll be okay. I think this is a little bit of like a mini tutorial on blending and shading. Not sure. I see it says something about a PDF, which is intriguing, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I'll have to look and see what all that's about. So, oh, there we go. So now we get started. The ink looks to be like kind of a dark purpley red ink, which is interesting instead of a typical black ink illustration. So cute! My gosh, I love it. And the little donkey over here. So we got our characters, some food over here. Bicket, oh, these are actually in English. Bicket, a cat who runs a magic general store. I love collecting nice things. Donkey Postman. I'm not going to say the name of those birds, so because YouTube's not going to understand that. And he's got a little stoat. That's the cook. Oh my gosh. Y'all, this is cute. So some of this is in English, which is a little weird. So I guess this is like chapter 1. I'm assuming it tells a story as you go through the book. He has to collect, I think, the 5 stones to... He has to collect 5 stones or something to get a magical key, I think is what it said earlier, so... I think that's what they're working on. And they're making little lamps in this one. He looks pretty frazzled right there. A little bird and that stoat, like everybody looks pretty frazzled in that one. Dang, those birds look downright angry. I'm assuming there's probably a storybook out there that goes along with this, and like this shows just bits and pieces of it, so like you're not getting the whole story, but you're able to color, of course. It's kind of how it feels. She found the miracle apple. A magical trunk that can hold anything. Man, can I have one of those for my coloring supplies? Like, seriously. Mushrooms. Please give me some medicine that will keep my flowers healthy even in the cold winter. Oh, he was rubbing his eye in the other picture. Maybe that meant he was sleepy and he needed to take a nap. I feel you, dude. I'm catching the vibes here. Like, I get you. There he is. They're exploring in the cave. That's cute. Special apple pie. Oh, I guess he used the magical apple for this, perhaps? Oh my gosh. Collected all the 5 magical stones. Oh boy, that's exciting. So they're having a magical party where they're gonna go through the secret door into the new world. That looks like a fun little party. Oh, he's got a suitcase with him. And there, I guess he is going through a door. Do we not get follow-up here? That was very anticlimactic. He goes to the door. The end. Okay. You can make a mini book out of this. That's cute. However, they're double-sided, so these look like they could be little cards, but again, they're double-sided. This stuff's always tricky to me. Like, there's little things and always little tidbits and stuff in the back, which is cool, but like, because it's double-sided, it's kind of like, you know, okay, what am I gonna do with this now? And so this is like the index, and there we go. It's a very cute book. I like it very much. I think the pictures are super cute. Okay, color by number. If you don't like color by number, though I do have 2 Disney color by number, I completely get it. So yeah, Tammy actually sent me this one in Messenger. She knew. We were like, you looked at the front of this and we were both like, I want to believe they look this good. And let me tell you, as soon as I saw the title of the book, I had to wait. I waited to watch her flip through. I tried, y'all. I was like, I'm going to wait till the flip through just to be sure. So I did wait for her flip through. But let me tell you, that title already had me like 50% over the line there. The whole catapult your creativity, like, man, puns, particularly cat puns, like, y'all are really getting an inner circle idea of what makes me happy. Like woodland creatures, cats, cat puns, like, there's all kinds of stuff hitting. And this is the thing. Things have been so hard lately. I was going to say I haven't been so miserable lately, which is true, but it's a bad way to say it. It's been so hard lately that I'm going for comfort things, even in my coloring books, which I find interesting. So catapult your creativity with color by numbers. This is by Paperdoll Productions. And I am dubious this is the effect you get, but I am willing to try and see. Do I know how these pictures were done? No. But somebody did take the time to create them as color by numbers, so I will say that. Now, what's cool is you get a legend like you would in a Disney book. Excuse me. And there is a very slight shade variance here. Now, the thing, and what's interesting, Tammy, if you happen to see this flip through, I see the same lines that you saw. So I don't think this is like, I think this is intentional from the page. It's not just happening from Amazon. So there's like lines down through here for some weird reason. But I think when you color, that's not going to matter. What's interesting to me is I'm trying to look at some of the open-ended sections, but it looks like everything's pretty well designated colors, so you're not just switching from one color to another. So the numbers are actually not all that tiny. They're bold and they're pretty easy to read, but like, you know, when I'm holding it that far off, they look small. So it does seem like there's a lot of colors. And this is Amazon, typical Amazon paper. And there's some really, really tiny, like, I wouldn't say this is as detailed as George Tufexis, but like there's some areas, like some of these little bitty spots that kind of are. And so what I use will be interesting in this book. Possibly towel trees, alcohol markers for the bigger spaces, but for the small ones, maybe some water-based fine tip markers, gel pens, because these, like right here, this is just a mess of numbers. Like that will take a while to work through. But I'm very intrigued by this book. I'm curious to see what they're going to... I mean, you're not... The images on the back and the front are, you know, colored using an app. So, like, if I scan these into an app and, like, colored them on my tablet or whatever, I might be able to get some of the gradient and stuff like that. Like, I don't expect these pictures to look just like the pictures that are on the cover. It's not that at all. I'm just curious as to what they're going to actually look like. Like, boy, this is a mess of things right here. The spread out parts aren't too bad. It's just the little grassy detail areas that are like, there's a lot going on. And like detail on the cats. And look at those color variations. Like, even if I were just using like markers or something on here, I would have to dig into, I think, other supplies just to get some color matching going on. So my plan is to do one, I want to say this month, but we really only have like, what, 2 more weeks in the year? In the year. Ah, if only. If only. Oh, dare to dream. We only have 2 weeks like left in the month. So I did a lot of videos this weekend, but I didn't color much. And I haven't been coloring much, and I want to. I just haven't had time. So why don't we say I'm going to have one of these by April, and we'll say like mid-April to be like, we'll give ourselves a month here. I wouldn't say like end of April, but I would like to tackle one of these, and I'm happy to color it on camera just to show you guys how it works and the issues I run into. I'm telling you, the big sections I'm going to want to use marker, and I'm probably going to get irritated because there's going to be a little bit of bleed. But you guys have seen, like in the George Tufexis books, even if there's a little bit of bleed, by the time the whole picture's done, you don't really notice it. So I wouldn't stress too awful much. And I won't probably pick one of these crazy, like, real detailed images. I'll probably try to pick one of the more simple ones. I would have loved to have seen this book on different paper. Like, had this been on a, you know, Disney color by number type paper, or something a little thicker that was a little more marker friendly, I would be like over the moon about this book. But it's the paper is the only thing really to worry about here. But like, golly, look at that color chart. Like, boys, these color charts though, well, let me tell you. Some of these numbers like 10 and 11, is there even a shade difference there? Like, it is subtle. And like 13 looks the same shade too. Like, that's crazy. I think the legends are a little overkill. Again, I don't think it's going to look as nuanced, and oh my gosh, that one looks nuts. I don't think it's going to look as nuanced as, you know, some of the other gradient type pictures, but that one might not be a bad one. There's a lot of pictures in here as well, so. But yeah, I'm like her. I like the colors in that one a lot. It's going to be the combination of maybe a simpler picture like this, but again, those skin tone type, light skin tone colors are like really not that different. If I was going to do this in pencil, having like a massive big pencil set like maybe my Fila's. If you're wondering what a Fila is, I don't even know if they exist anymore. They're probably the Brett Furners now, to be honest. I feel like those pencils were renamed to something else, and so that's why I don't buy a lot of the big budget-friendly pencil sets, because I feel like I already have some of them, and I'm just thinking I'm buying the same sets over and over again. So, but Fila was what they were 5 years ago, and I still have those, and they have I think it might be 150 of those. So, oh, that one's a cool one. Oh, I like that one. I like it. Wow, this video turned long because I've been talking. Am I gonna do a coloring chat this weekend? I do not know. We're supposedly, after the news yesterday, are going to possibly have some more information Friday, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not holding my breath. Big sweeping announcements seem to be the trend in my life lately, but everybody's missing details. Like, I like that one. Everybody, so the composition of these pictures is really cool. But like, yeah, the details seem to be lacking. And the problem is I need the details to make decisions. What I need to do. God, some of these are really cool pictures. These are going to be investment pictures though, like my George Tufexis pictures. I know I'm going to spend anywhere from like 3 to 6, 2 to 6 hours on a George Tufexis picture, just depending on the complexity. So yeah, I think these lines are, I don't even think they're supposed to be here. I don't know why they're there. That's just weird. But when you color it, I don't think you're going to see them. I should have just probably showed y'all a couple of these, but you got to see the whole book, so congratulations. But yeah, that's a pretty good number of images. Does it say on the back? No, of course not. That would be too easy. Alright, so I have 2 Disney books. I have the Felines book, of course, that I've been working in. I'm trying to actually do a picture this month. It's been a while. It's what I bought my Faber-Castell Pitt pens and the Staedtlers for, is to try some different things there. I like using pencil in them, but man, it wears my hand out. Just those big spaces. Then I have the new Villains book, which is like way more detailed. I like the Felines book because it's not that detailed. And then the villain's book, like way a whole nother level of detail. So I was thinking and thinking and thinking, and I ended up getting the Vitraux book and the Bestiaire book, because if I'm not mistaken, the Bestiaire book is a collection from their other books, and because I'm not planning on buying like a ton of Disney books anytime soon, I would rather have this kind of collections book. It makes it a little less tempting. Like there's some of the grand classiques and stuff. I might pick up a volume or two of one of those at some point. Like maybe one or two more, but like really at that point I just need to stop, because if I don't, I will just end up owning all of them. And who's going to color? And I know I say this as I have like 2 bookshelves full of books that I'll never get to color in my lifetime. How could somebody, if there's 100 images per book, I mean, this is going to be 400 images for me in Disney, color by numbers, and like the art therapy books. So on top of what everything else I have. So I am not going to run out of Disney images anytime soon. Plus, I kind of, like some people, like I know Spicy Cat Colors and some others will do Disney-related color-alongs, and I'd like to have a few more pictures to choose from so I can participate in some of those. I also have a separate book called Disney Girl Power that I guess would apply as well. I just don't, of course I haven't colored it. Yeah, it's the story of my life. Alright, so we'll do Vitraux. I ordered another Vitraux, the one that's available off Amazon. I ordered that one. That's coming at the very end of the month, and I think there was like, okay, I have 5, that's enough. Now this book is one of the ones that I think you see a picture here, but when you color it, it's a different picture. Or no, not this one. I think what you see is actually the picture. Yeah. Okay. Let's be clear. I'm not an expert on the Disney books. So you can kind of see the images. Let me make sure I'm telling the truth here. Yeah, I believe so. So these are not overly complicated images, which is good. Yes. Okay. I'm right. So you can kind of see them a little bit here. Now I'm going to show you the answer key. If you don't want to see it, I understand. I'm going to forget what it... Because I can already see the images anyway, I'm not too worried about it. But like here is the answer key. And you can see some of the images here. I love the simplicity of the images. I like the color blocking. I like kind of the mosaic look of these. That Marina, what is her name? Oh my gosh, what is the name of that movie? Whatever. Brave. There we go. That was it, I hope. That looks a little complicated, but I'm excited to do that. But like all these look super cool. I feel like a pretty nice variety of images in movies. I'll be curious to try some. So basically, I like using pencils. I like using acrylic paint pens. In these books most of all. I'm kind of iffy on water-based markers. The Pitt pens seem to do pretty good, but like most of the water-based markers that are pretty streaky, like I don't particularly like. I would like to try some watercolor in these books if it's not, or ink tints or something, if it's not going to bleed through. I probably need to do some research. Oh, I love that one. And I love that one right there too. I probably need to do some research before I do anything. I don't want to risk messing up a page. You know, this was such a fun movie. Of course, now I can't think of the name. Onward. That was it. We watched that. That came out the year the pandemic started. Um, it doesn't get talked about a lot, but me and my husband both really dug this movie. Like, we thought it was so fun. Um, but I think a lot of D&D type stuff's referenced and stuff, and that's kind of our thing. So, like, well, we're not, we don't play D&D, but like we're in similar hobbies. So I really like this one. I don't hear much about it, but I'm actually pretty pleased there's an Onward picture in there. All right. And finally, jeez, Bestiaire. Again, this is a collection from, where did you come from, Marker? This is a collection from some of the other Disney art therapy books, if I'm not mistaken. So you may have these images in your books, because I'm not going to try to buy all the Disney books. I'm cool with the collections one. So I feel like this one's a pretty new release as well. This is 2022. So yeah. This one you can't tell what they're going to be. They're just a whole bunch of squigglies. This is why I'm not showing you very much of the actual pages, because I think I can see him. I think that's the monkey from Aladdin. Okay, I can see a little bit in some of these, but not a lot. That was a very limited color palette right there. These might have some detail to them. I wouldn't say these look as simple as, I know I'm saying that wrong, Vitraux. Doesn't look as easy as the Vitraux or the Felines book, but I don't think this is quite, this might be closer to Villains, or whatever the actual French name of it is. Merchant? Méchant. I took I took 2 semesters of French in college, and I can tell you right now, I don't remember a damn thing. A damn thing. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so there's that. Now I'm going to do the color key again. If you don't want to see it, I totally get it. Alright, color key. So, yeah, actually these pictures don't look crazy complicated once they're colored. So, that's cool. Yeah, I could see him, and I could see him a little bit. So, looks like there might be some characters here that you're not like super duper familiar with. But I'm pretty cool with that. I love that movie. The Robin Hood movie. It's one of my favorite ones. I don't mind. I like even the characters I'm not 100% super familiar with. I love that Emperor's New Groove's in here. Yzma, again, is how you say her name. Like, that, man, that's my vibe. Like, I saw a meme once that said something like, I thought I'd be a Disney princess as I got older, but I'm more like Yzma. And let me tell you, that, I need that on a shirt. I need that on a sign. That is either that or that evil stepmother that's in the bed with the cat in the Cinderella movie. Like, I'm one of those two. Like, I'm the crazy cat lady, or I'm just crazy. So that one looks a little odd. I know that's got to be from the. I don't know much about Winnie the Pooh movies, but that one just looked a bit weird. I know I saw. This has been my brain. This is my brain. Danny Buttons talking about this one, and she mentioned there were quite a few from Brother Bear, which I don't mind. Haven't seen it in years, but I love the pictures in this one. If only I could make it look as crisp as these. Would you still buy the Disney books if they were only 50 images and one-sided? At the same price they are now, would you buy them if they were only 50 images, if they were one-sided and allowed for alcohol marker? I tell you, I would. I would buy more, honestly. It's just, I miss the ability to get a crisp look like this, and it is so much harder to do so for me with pencil and like paint pens and stuff. And so I would. Now, a lot of people might not, but I would. That's what I think every time I see these books. But I still like them. I still will color in them. Not quite as often as my other books, just like I said. If I'm using paint pens, tend to dry out really quick on me, which is a pain. By the time I get around to using them again, they're like all half dried out, and it's really annoying. But like paint pens are a nice speedy way, but color matching's a trouble. Pencils are good for color matching, but to get a nice, good, dark look, you got to really put pressure on, which can, even with the softest pencils. Like I've used Prismas on them, and they look good, but it's just hard on my hands. And like I said, I wouldn't mind trying, like, especially on this one, I wouldn't mind trying some ink tints, trying some watercolor, maybe. I don't know. And I just, other people's pages look good when they use water-based markers. Like, I like everybody else's pages, but when my pages look like that, it drives me crazy. I just can't do it. Like, I've tried. I'm going to keep trying, but I just don't know if it's going to stick. Okay. Granted, there were a lot of books today, so I figured this one would run a little long, but I have also been talking a lot, so. But we are done. What are my plans the rest of the week? I wish I knew. Everything in my life feels like it's just kind of, I'm just getting up each day, doing what I need to do each day, and then being grateful I can make it through the day every day. That's pretty much what's happening right now. I just did want to do this because I had more books to stack up. I will probably wait to do another flip through until I get Alien Worlds from Kirby Rosanna's, which I believe that would be next Tuesday. So unless I go on another coloring book buying spree, which who knows, right? I probably won't do another set of flip throughs till next Tuesday. And hopefully I'll be able to pick up a couple more of the books that are left to come through. I've got another Etsy book, 2 more Etsy books. Well, no, one of them's not coming to April. The Lireka book is a pre-order, so that's not coming till April. One more Etsy book, and the other Disney book, and Kirby Rosanna's, and the other Rita Berman book I have are the only in the Enchanted Earth one. But Enchanted Earth comes in April. So I only know of like 4 more books that are coming in, that should come in like maybe the next week. So I should be able to flip through those next week. Friday, I really should just go ahead and finish my stupid set of collection videos. I may do that. And then I might do just a quick review of the Magic Box markers over the weekend. I've used them enough now. I feel like I can just do a quick video telling you guys how those turned out. I don't know if I'll do a coloring chat Sunday. A lot of it stems on if I hear any more news this week. If I hear any more news this week, you may hear about me on the news, because I'll be running through the streets tearing clothes off, probably tearing my hair out in clumps. No, not really. I'm gonna go live in the woods. I told y'all. I'll have tree bark on, and leaves, so I will keep myself covered and to satisfy the masses, which is really the best thing for everybody. Let's be real. But if I get any earth-shattering news this week, we'll probably talk about it on Sunday. But I don't think I'll be able to talk about anything, so I don't know. We'll just see. We'll see, right? Like, Saturday I might do a live stream. Sunday I might do a color and chat. It just really depends on what my mood is come this weekend. So I hate to leave it like that because I know my live streams are very last minute, and a lot of y'all that would like to attend can't because you have other things going on, and I totally get it. It's just my life is in such upheaval right now. I just can't plan out live streams. They really just, I get enticed, inspired to do one, and we do it. And so I would like to do one. I would say more likely that I'm going to do a color and chat the next, well, no, because next weekend we need to do like completed pages and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll just see, because I hate living my life like this. I hate living in constant upheaval, and it's been this way, it feels like, for the last 7 or 8 months in particular. And I get it. Like, I know other people, some people are going through far worse and far more upheaval than I am. I'm not trying to minimize anybody else's struggle by any means. But I'm not trying to minimize my own, by saying, you know, other people have it worse. I just, I can't do that. But anyway, alright. I've kept y'all long enough. If you've stuck around the whole time, props to you, man. Today was a little wacky, so you got a little added bonus of me being silly because I'm exhausted, which I think for some of y'all is your favorite version of me. I mean, you don't want me to be exhausted, you just like the silly side, and at least I hope you don't want me to be exhausted. But anyway, y'all take care, and I will be back with something for the weekend, one way or another. Thanks, and bye for now.